The room went quiet so fast I could hear the refrigerator hum. My fiancé's fork hovered above his plate like it forgot what it was for. His mother's smile slid off her face. His father cleared his throat, then didn't know what to do with the sound. And across from me, my fiancé just stared at the papers I'd placed beside his glass. The deed, the ownership documents, my name in black ink, not his, mine. That's when I heard the audible gasp. It came from his sister, who had always acted like I was lucky he even looked at me. I didn't flinch. I didn't raise my voice. I just sat there, calm, even though I felt shattered inside. Because 5 minutes earlier, he had smirked and joked about our future, like he wasn't using me like a stepping stone, like he wasn't planning to marry someone else. And he thought I was too sweet to ever bite back. He was wrong. But to understand why that dinner mattered so much, you need to know how he got into my home in the first place, and how I let him. My fiancé's name was Cole. He was charming in the easy way, the kind of guy who remembered your coffee order and kissed your forehead in public. He worked in sales, always dressed like he was heading to a meeting with someone important. He talked about ambition like it was a personality trait, and for a while, I thought that meant he was driven. I thought it meant he wanted a real life with me. I'm 29. I work in healthcare administration. Not glamorous, but steady. I'm the girl who pays bills early. The girl who reads contracts. The girl who doesn't buy things she can't afford. A few years ago, I bought my condo. 2 bedrooms, clean building, quiet neighborhood, nothing flashy, but it was mine. I saved for the down payment while my friends were taking trips. I stayed in on weekends, meal prepped, and said no to expensive brunches. I wanted stability. I wanted something that couldn't be taken from me. So when Cole and I got serious, it felt safe to let him into that world. At first, he didn't move in. He stayed over. A toothbrush, a hoodie, then a drawer. Then one day he brought a suitcase and said, smiling, "I'm basically here every night anyway." I remember laughing. "Basically," I said. He kissed my cheek. "You're my home," he said. And I believed him. I didn't need him to pay my mortgage. I never asked. But he offered. "Let me help," he said. "I don't want to feel like a guest." So we agreed on a simple split. He'd send me money monthly, not half the mortgage, because it wasn't his mortgage, just a fair contribution to utilities and groceries. And he promised he would take care of dinners and handle the small stuff. It sounded balanced. It sounded like a partnership. Looking back, it was the first time he learned he could live off my calm, because the money didn't always come on time. Sometimes it came late. Sometimes it came in smaller amounts, and he'd always have a story. Commission got pushed. Client delayed payment. HR messed up payroll. He'd say it with a dramatic sigh, like the world was always doing him wrong. And I'd nod, because I was in love, because I told myself relationships have seasons, because I didn't want to become the kind of woman who tracks dollars like a detective. I wish that was the worst part. Because the truth wasn't that he was struggling. The truth was, he was spending his money like he didn't have to worry. New watch, new sneakers, weekend trips with the guys. And somehow, my card was always the one that came out at the end of the night. Not in a blunt way, in a smooth way. He'd pat his pockets and say, "Babe, I left my wallet in the car." Or he'd grin and say, "I'll get you back." He rarely did, but he made it feel normal. And then he proposed. He proposed in my condo, right by my window with the little city lights behind him. He got down on one knee and said, "I want you forever." I cried, not big messy crying, quiet tears, because I thought finally I found someone who chose me. I called my mom, my best friend, even his family. Everyone acted excited. His mom hugged me and said, "Welcome to us." His dad shook my hand like it was a business deal. His sister Lydia smirked and said, "Wow, didn't think you'd lock him down." I laughed it off, because I was happy, because I didn't want to be suspicious on a day I thought was pure. We started planning, not a huge wedding, a nice one. We agreed we'd host a family dinner, soon, both families together, so everyone could feel included. Cole loved the idea. He loved anything that made him look established. 2 families, 1 table, he said. It's classy. That word, classy. Cole was obsessed with being seen as classy. He talked about status like it was oxygen. He followed rich people on social media and acted like he belonged in their world. And I didn't mind. I thought it was just confidence, until the night my entire stomach dropped with one message. It happened on a random Tuesday. Cole was in the shower. His phone was on the couch, buzzing. I wasn't a snooper. I never had been. But it kept buzzing. back to back, like someone was blowing it up. I glanced just to see if it was an emergency. The screen lit up, a preview banner, and I saw the words, "She's just practice." My breath caught. Practice. The word hit like ice water. I froze, then told myself I misread it, but the phone buzzed again. Another banner. Once I marry the real one, I'm set. My hands went cold. My heart started pounding like it wanted out of my chest. I stared at the phone like it was a snake. Cole's shower was still running. I could hear him humming, like he wasn't about to destroy my life. My fingers moved before my mind caught up. I picked up his phone. The screen was unlocked. He must have been watching videos earlier. The messages were from a group chat. A hidden group chat I didn't know existed. The name was something stupid and smug like Kings Only. I tapped, and there it was, a full thread of men joking like my pain was entertainment. Cole. She's perfect for now, safe, pays for everything. I'm stacking. Friend 1. Bro, you living rent-free, lol. Cole. Not rent-free. She thinks I'm contributing. I throw her a little money so she stays calm. Friend 2. And the wedding? Cole. Practice. My real wife is gonna be someone with status. Someone my parents will respect. Friend 3. Who's the real one? Cole. Savannah. Her dad's connected. That's the kind of family you marry into. My vision blurred. Not because I was crying, because my body didn't want to accept it. He kept going. Cole. I just need to keep this going until I get my promotion. Living here helps. No stress. Free food. She's grateful. Grateful. My stomach turned. Then the line that made my hands start trembling. Cole. She's practice for my real wife. There it was. Clear as day. I felt shattered in a quiet way. Like my ribs were glass, but I didn't scream. I didn't throw the phone. I didn't confront him dripping wet out of the shower. I did something else. I took screenshots. Every message. His name. The timestamps. The part where he mentioned Savannah. The part about using my home. The part about pretending to pay. Then I sent them to myself. Immediately. I didn't care if he saw the sent history later. I needed the proof outside his phone. Because if I had learned anything in life, it was this. People like Cole don't confess. They delete. I set his phone back exactly where it was. My hands were trembling, but I forced my face neutral. Cole came out of the shower, towel around his waist, hair damp. He smiled like nothing happened. "Hey," he said. "What's for dinner?" I stared at him. He looked so normal, so comfortable, so confident in my softness. I swallowed hard. "Leftovers," I said. He kissed my forehead. "You're the best," he said. And I almost laughed, not because it was funny, because it was cruel. That night, after he fell asleep, I got out of bed and went to my laptop. I didn't spiral. I didn't write him a long emotional paragraph. I built a folder. I named it Condo plus Financials. Secret weapon time. First, ownership documents. I pulled up my closing paperwork. The deed, the mortgage statement, the HOA records, everything with my name on it. I downloaded copies. I printed them. Second, bank records. I logged into my account and searched deposits from Cole. They were inconsistent. Some months nothing, some months partial. Meanwhile, I looked at my own spending. Groceries, utilities, home repairs, dinner, my card, my card, my card. I made a simple spreadsheet. Date, vendor, amount, notes. And then I pulled the transfers Cole sent and marked them next to the months. It wasn't just unfair. It was a pattern. Third, the hidden group chat screenshot. That was the heart of it, because it proved intent. Not a misunderstanding, not I was joking. A plan. I sat there in the blue light of my laptop feeling numb. And then I thought about the upcoming family dinner. The one Cole was so excited for. Both families, my parents, his sister, everyone. Cole wanted a stage, so I decided to give him one. But not the kind he expected. I acted normal. That was the setup, the hardest part, because every time he touched me, my skin felt wrong. Every time he called me babe, it sounded fake. But I smiled. I cooked. I nodded. I let him think I was still the same calm girl who would swallow pain to keep peace, because I needed him confident. I needed him careless. I needed him to show up to that dinner thinking he was winning. In the days leading up, he got extra sweet. He brought flowers. He offered to take me out. He even sent me money without me asking. A larger amount than usual. Like he was buying silence. I accepted it, and I documented it. Because if you're going to play with me, you're going to fund your own downfall. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown Instagram account. Just one line. "Are you really marrying Cole?" My stomach dropped again. I didn't answer. I clicked the profile. It was private, no photos. But the name, Savannah. That's when I knew this wasn't just talk. There was a real person, and Cole's plan was already moving. I didn't go message her. Not yet. I didn't want drama. I wanted precision. So I waited. And then I got another piece, the thing that made my revenge clean. Cole left his laptop open one night. He was in the kitchen, and a notification popped up. A calendar invite. Dinner with Savannah plus parents. My breath stopped. Dinner with her parents while planning a family dinner with me. My hands went cold. I took a photo of the screen with my phone. Date and time. Then I stepped away. That was enough. I wasn't going to fight for a man who called me practice. I was going to remove him from my life like he was a bad stain. Legally, quietly, and with witnesses. So I contacted a local attorney, just a consult. I explained the situation without the emotional details. "My fiancé lives in my condo," I said. "I own it. He is not on the deed. He contributes sometimes. I need to remove him legally." The attorney asked a few questions. "How long has he lived there? Does he receive mail there? Is there any written lease agreement?" I told her the truth. He had been there long enough to be considered a resident, which meant I couldn't just throw his stuff on the curb. I needed proper notice. I needed to follow the process. Because the last thing I wanted was Cole turning around and acting like the victim. The attorney said, "We can draft a notice to terminate his occupancy. Depending on your state and circumstances, typically a written notice is required. We'll do it clean." Clean. That word felt like relief. She drafted a notice. Professional. Simple. It said he had to vacate by a certain date, and it referenced that he had no ownership interest, no tenancy rights beyond occupancy. It also stated that locks would be changed after surrender of keys or after lawful removal. I printed it, 2 copies. I put one in my folder with the deed and the bank records. Then I prepared dinner. The big family dinner. I cooked like I always did. Not fancy, just warm. Roast chicken, salad, bread, a dessert that looked sweet on the outside. My mom came early to help. She hugged me, smiling. "You okay?" she whispered. I nodded, because I couldn't tell her yet. Not until it was time. Cole's family arrived next. His mom brought a bottle of wine. His dad brought nothing. Lydia walked in, looking me up and down. She smirked, like always. "Cute place," she said, sweeping her eyes around. "Must be nice." Cole wrapped an arm around my waist. "Yeah," he said. "We've built a great life here." I smiled. "Dinner's almost ready," I said. Everyone sat. 2 families, 1 table. Cole was in his element. He told stories. He laughed loudly. He acted like a man who had everything under control. His mom raised her glass. "To the happy couple," she said. Everyone echoed it. I lifted my glass too, and I held it. Then I set it down gently. "Before dessert," I said calm, "I have something I want to share." Cole's smile didn't move. He nodded like I was about to announce wedding colors. "Okay, babe," he said, smirking. I stood up. I walked to the living room side table and picked up my folder. The thick one. I brought it back and placed it on the table. Cole's eyes flicked to it. What's that?" he asked, still smiling. I opened it. First, I slid the deed across the table, right toward his parents. "This condo," I said, "is mine. I purchased it before Cole and I met." His mother blinked. His father's eyebrows lifted. Cole's smile tightened. "What?" he laughed. "Babe, why are you—" I didn't stop. "I'm bringing it up because Cole has told people he's providing for me," I said. "That he's building a life here." I flipped to the next page. Bank records. A spreadsheet. I pushed it toward the center. "These are the bills," I said. "And these are the payments." Cole shifted in his chair. His sister leaned forward, curious. My mom's hand slowly covered her mouth. My dad's face went still. Cole forced another laugh. "Okay, this is weird," he said. "Why are you doing this in front of everyone?" I looked at him, because now it was time. I pulled out my phone. I tapped once, and I turned the screen so the table could see. "These," I said, "are Cole's messages." His eyes widened, and for the first time that night, the color drained from his face. He reached forward. "Don't," he started. I lifted my hand slightly, not aggressive, just final. I read it out loud, calm and clear. "She's just practice for my real wife." There was a beat of silence so sharp it felt like a blade. Then someone gasped. An audible gasp. It came from his mother this time. She made a small sound like she couldn't breathe. Cole's dad whispered, "What the hell?" Cole's sister's mouth fell open. My mom's eyes filled with tears. Cole stammered. That's not," he said. "It's a joke. It's just guys being stupid." I scrolled. I read the next part. Savannah. Her dad's connected. That's the kind of family you marry into. His mother turned to him, stunned. "Savannah?" she repeated. Cole's throat moved like he couldn't swallow. His father's voice got low. "Who is Savannah?" Cole looked around like he wanted someone to save him. No one did. I kept my voice steady even though my heart was pounding. "I have a photo of your calendar invite too," I said. "Dinner with Savannah and her parents." Cole stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. "Stop," he snapped. My dad stood too, not yelling, just standing, a quiet wall. "Sit down," my dad said. Cole froze. Then his mom spoke, voice shaking. "Cole, tell me this isn't real." Cole's eyes darted. He tried the old charm. "Mom, come on. She's twisting it. She's jealous. She's being dramatic." Lydia's smirk was gone. She looked sick. My mom finally spoke. Her voice was small. "Why would you say she's practice?" she asked. I swallowed. I didn't look at my mom too long because it hurt. But I kept going because I didn't bring them here for confusion. I brought them here for truth. I pulled out the notice. I placed it beside Cole's plate, like a final garnish. "This," I said, "is a legal notice to vacate my home." Cole stared at it like it was poison. "You can't do that," he said, voice rising. "Yes, I can," I said calmly. "I consulted an attorney. You have no ownership here. You're required to leave by the date on that notice." His dad looked at the paper, then at him. "You used her," his dad said, and it didn't sound like a question. Cole's face twisted. "Are you kidding me?" he snapped, now turning on everyone. "I live here. She can't just kick me out." I nodded once. "I'm not kicking you out tonight," I said. "I'm doing it legally, cleanly, with witnesses." That's when I noticed his hands. They were shaking. He was scared. Not of losing me, of losing the free ride, of losing the warm home he didn't earn, of losing the image. Cole tried one last time. He pointed at me, voice sharp. "You're going to regret this," he said. "You're throwing away a future." I didn't flinch. "My future isn't with someone who calls me practice," I said. Then I turned to his parents. "I'm sorry you had to see this," I said. "But I won't be lied about." His mother looked like she might cry. I didn't know," she whispered. I believed her, but it didn't change what her son did. Dinner ended fast after that. No dessert, no laughter, just chairs scraping and awkward goodbyes. Cole stormed to the bedroom. I let him, because the process mattered. My attorney told me to stay calm. Don't escalate. Document everything. So I did. He packed that night with loud, dramatic movements, slamming drawers, sighing loudly, trying to bait me into a fight. I stayed in the kitchen, washing dishes that didn't need washing. My hands were trembling the whole time, but I didn't give him a scene. That's what he wanted. A story where I was crazy. I wasn't going to give him that. Over the next week, he tried everything. He cried one day, like real tears. "I messed up," he said. "It was stupid. I was insecure." Then he got angry. "You're humiliating me," he hissed. "You're ruining my life." Then he got sweet again. "I'll marry you tomorrow," he said. "Let's start over." I looked at him with a calm face. "You already chose," I said. "Now you're just dealing with it." On the move-out date, I made sure I did everything correctly. I had my friend Jenna there as a witness. I scheduled it during daylight. I recorded a simple video of the condo condition before he left. Cole dragged his suitcase out like he was the victim. At the door, he paused. He looked back. His eyes were hard. "You think you won," he said. I held my keys in my palm. "I didn't win," I said quietly. "I got my life back." He left, and when he did, I followed the proper process. I confirmed keys were returned. I had the locks changed by a licensed locksmith. I saved the invoice. I updated the building management with a note that he was no longer authorized. I changed my passwords, my Wi-Fi, my streaming accounts, everything. Clean. Legal. No drama, just closure. That night, I sat on my couch alone. The condo felt bigger, quieter. I stared at the wall and finally let myself feel it. Shattered, not because he was gone, because I had loved someone who never respected me. My mom came over and held my hand. My dad didn't say much. He just brought groceries. Because that's how my dad loves. Quietly. Over the next few weeks, Cole's world started to shift. His family stopped talking to him the same way. I heard through Lydia, because she couldn't resist the gossip, that his mom was furious, that his dad told him, "You embarrassed this family." Cole tried to spin it online. He posted vague quotes about betrayal, about women who can't take a joke. But the truth had already landed, with witnesses, with receipts, and he couldn't unsay it. Then I got the final confirmation. Savannah messaged me, not rude, not sweet, just blunt. "Did he propose to you?" she asked. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I replied with one sentence, "Yes, and you should know he called me practice." I attached the screenshot. Then I blocked her. Not because I hated her, because she wasn't my problem. She never was. Cole was. A month later, I heard Savannah dumped him. Apparently, her family found out too. Status families don't like scandal. And Cole's plan depended on looking clean. He wasn't clean. He was a user with a smile. And once that mask slipped, it didn't go back on. Me? I rebuilt. I repainted my bedroom. New sheets, new lamps. I rearranged furniture like I was rearranging my life. I started therapy, not because I was broken forever, because I didn't want to carry his lies into my next chapter. I joined a Pilates class. I started cooking for myself again. Slowly, I invited friends over. Laughter returned to my table. Real laughter, not the kind that hides pain. And one morning, I woke up and realized something. The condo felt like mine again. Not ours, not a stage for his fake future. Mine. I updated my budget. I looked at my bank account. And for the first time in months, the numbers made sense. Because I wasn't paying for someone else's lifestyle. I wasn't funding my own disrespect. I was building myself back, quietly. And the best part? I didn't need revenge that broke the law. I didn't need to destroy him with chaos. I destroyed his access to my home, to my money, to my peace. And that was enough. Because when someone uses you as practice, you don't beg to be chosen. You remove them from the lesson, and you move forward like they were never your teacher. Now my condo is quiet in the best way. I drink coffee in the morning without dread. I pay my bills and smile because it's my life. And if I ever hear the word practice again, it'll be in a gym, not in my love story.